Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
As always, man, great, 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 man. How about yourself?
I'm doing absolutely great, Coach. I'm ready to get right to it. You and I ran into each other a little earlier this week at the gym, and it was great to see you. Before
Say,
we,
man, say,
yeah,
man.
yeah, great to see you. Always great to see you. Always great to have a face-to-face dialogue with you. I don't have that conversation with many people. To be honest with you, as I think about it, damn, I really don't have that conversation.
Don't say.
It's hard to find
I get
when
it, man.
yeah when I
Same
yeah
here,
and
man.
I'm just really thinking about I just never
Yeah,
really thought, but I'm just thinking about it.
man.
I really don't get a chance to have that dialogue with someone that with the third eyes open and with a certain consciousness. So it's always my pleasure, man. But and before we get started, man, I just want to share with the family as you come in. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I'm leave that right there. If you ever need my help, there's my information right there. We can chop it up. Whatever you want to talk about, dealing with the mind, the body, and the soul, how to connect the three together for optimal success. And I just want to share this with the family. Listen, if anyone in your family or if there's a close friend of yours that's dealing with some type of trauma, and they trying to bring that trauma into your life, don't let your healing, if you're still healing or if you have healed from it, don't let them trigger you. I just leave that right there because we still have from our family members, a lot of our friends, people we knew from the past, or things we've been through. There's still a lot of trauma in the Black community, and it's right in your family. So don't let no one that's not healing or trying to heal or haven't healed open up a bad wound for you. So I just wanted to say that right there, So, Coach, but what I do want to talk to you about today, and I'm ready to jump right into it so I can get what you think about this right here. But I want to talk about the most noticeable thing about Black folks. The most noticeable thing about Black folks. So, first thing I want to do is make sure I define some words, and I one or two words, and I just want to make sure that the family remember as I define these words, remember the definition of them as I move through what I'm sharing with you today. So let's just do noticeable. It means easily seen when it's noticeable, noticed. Is clear or apparent, very clear or apparent. Remember that. Don't forget that. The most noticeable thing about Black folks that I experienced and been experiencing for a long time is we don't care. We, as a people, we don't care. And as I define this right here, I want you to remember the definition of it. And a lot of times, and we are very emotional people as well. And that truth, it really triggers us. So we might lose one or two people, but here comes some more truth tonight. Here
I
comes
think a
some,
whole lot more than one or two.
yeah, well we may lose three or four, but I'm going to tell this truth anyway. And I can bag it up. And I would love in the comment section, for the family to share whatever they would like to share in the comment section. You can get your perspective. If you got facts that can trump what I'm saying or facts, pull them out because I'm getting ready to bring you some facts. So let's jump right into it. Let's do the noun of the word and remember the definition of the word, the provision of what is necessary for health, welfare, maintenance, and protecting of someone or something. Another noun, serious attention to consideration applied to doing something correctly or to avoid damage or risk. Those are things you do when you care. You take what's necessary of your health and your wellness and how you maintain yourself and how you protection of someone or something. That's when you care. When you care, you give it a serious attention, consideration. You apply something to it. It's when you care. I just want to understand it's when you care. Now, the verb of the word, I just did the nouns of the word. Let's do the verb of the word. Is to feel concern or interest. Here's a problem to feel concern or interest Attach importance to something. You'll do that when you care. Look out there and provide for the need of. You'll do that when you care. First, let's look at us. You got anything you want to share before I move forward, Coach?
No, I'm hearing the definitions and just relaying to observation. Hey, man.
That's okay, and that's why I'm dealing with this with what's most noticeable and from your observation. Okay, so let's look at it. First, let's look at us as adults. Us as adults. Let's look at this right here, and you can go to the CDC if you want to pull up this. I want to give you a reference so where you can go find it there, or you can go to the minorityhealth.hhs.gov. I want to give you references. niddk.nih.gov. Now let's run it. In the United States, Black women have the highest rate of obesity compared to other racial ethnic groups. You know, they keep numbers on us. They keep numbers on them. Approximately 60% of Black women are considered obese based on the body mass index. And I'm going to tell you about that body mass index because I don't agree with it always because we are built different and from when they did it. But if you're not obese based on that body mass index, you're definitely overweight. You're overweight. If you're not, you know, because we consider obese, we think of when we think of the 600-pound, but that's morbid obese. That's a different obese. They got us on numbers, and I'm gonna share this with you. If you want to keep your body intact, because your midsection is what complements your body. I don't care how good your legs look, how good this look, it on males and females. I don't care how good your body look. When you turn around and you have lost your midsection, it takes away from your body. So this is something to think about. And I'm gonna use an example for myself. Say, take your height. I'm 6 feet tall. All right. Take your height. Put it in inches. That'll be 72 inches. All right. Cut that in half. That'll be 36. If you're 6 feet tall, you always want to keep your waist 36 and under. It'll complement your body structure. I hope everybody got that. I hope everybody got that. Take your height, put it in inches, cut it in half, get that midsection together because it's your midsection, is your core that complements your body. Always remember that. 4 out of 5 Black women are either overweight. 4 out of 5 are either overweight or obese, and Black men are following right behind them at 41.1%. And we are considered the unhealthiest group of people, ethnicity, having poor health than white across the board of the range of outcomes. Remember the definition of care. Just always remember that because things are not looking good in the numbers that I'm giving you if we cared about ourselves. The numbers that I'm reading, it showed that we're not showing a necessity to our health or to our welfare or to maintaining our bodies. We're not doing it. We're not showing that we care. We're not showing that we have a concern for our health. I'm just looking at the numbers and I'm looking at the definition of care, and I'm not saying that we're not showing a serious attention to something that we need to be showing a serious attention to, and if we don't, it's going to cause some type of damage or risk. I just want you to slow down and remember. And when the adults are unhealthy, a lot of times that trigger down to the children. Black children in grades 9 through 12 were 50% more likely to be obese than their white peers. Following that pattern, we have been really cursed of generation of following either obesity, overweight or obesity, our mindset dealing with mental illness, our spiritual dealing with caught up in a religion and not living by standards and principles, and that's triggering down to our children, and that's not well. Black adults were 30% more likely to be obese than white adults. We got to do better, family. We got to take care of ourselves. We have to begin to care about ourselves. Look at how early we're dying. Man, you see more younger people dying in these days than you hear about older folks dying. I want you to think about that. Blacks have the lowest life expectancy. Hispanics are at 78.8. Whites are at 77.6. Blacks are at 71.8. If you in your 60s and you're not taking care of yourself, statistically, these folks saying you don't have but a couple more years to live. Family, have you thought about that? And one of the biggest reasons is a lack of exercise and unhealthy eating. That's simple, but we make that so hard. It's very noticeable that as a people of color, we don't care about ourselves. And when you don't care about yourself, it's hard for you to care about anybody else. I just want you to think about that. Black people account for 60% of those killed by firearm homicide each year. 60%. We don't care. Homicide is the leading cause of death among young Black men. We don't care. We don't care. 80 to 90% of all the cases of Black victims were killed by another Black. We don't care. And it's so noticeable that we don't care. And I don't know if you thought about it, and don't get in your feelings and emotions about it. But if you're not taking care of yourself physically, just to start with the physical aspects of life, you're showing that you don't even care about yourself. Coach, you want to jump in for a move?
I always ask the rhetorical question, man. How can you make someone care about themselves more than they care about themselves? How can you possibly do that? You literally had to reprogram that person. How are you going to do that? This is all you got. This body, this mind to take you through this journey, however long the journey is. And at this early stage, I can say early stage because we don't know the end or what have you. This early stage, you don't care. Mind you, the definition of care now. Because what we see in a large scale, a lot of people don't care. Now, I know you can twist it. You can get any feelings if you want to. Because I don't care. I don't care about that because it's mind-boggling, it's depressing, because it's people that look like me. You know, I can't care about you more than you care about yourself, man. I just can't, you know. One of the examples of not caring is what we're talking about in the lack of response. So we talking about life at the end of the day. We talking about life. And you don't care about life. We're not talking about anything to degrade your well-being. It might spark a thought or two, might let you look at things that you never see it that way, you know what I mean? But really, that says a lot, man. That says a lot, you know. I know we ought to do better, but will we? Hey, we'll see, I guess, man. We'll see.
And you know what, Coach, by you saying that right there, that was I caught that right there. I caught that. And what I caught was, here's a fact. Here's a fact. I care about my people more than a lot of them care about themselves.
True. Yeah. Yeah.
Golly, you said,
Yeah.
because here I am offering my help. Here you are offering your help for life, to give life, and they're not responding. Hey, okay. That when you said that, I'm like, wow, I'm on here trying to help people build a foundation for their structure where I know they're struggling because the numbers are letting me know, observation is letting me know, just,
Yeah.
just noticing is letting me know that we need help, but we want to accept it. And it seems like you and I care more than a lot of folks care about themselves. That's a fact, because if you're not doing anything to try to make a difference in your life as an individual, him or her, you just don't care. And you could take it to like you could take that any way you want to take it. But that's a fact. You got to take care of yourself because you all you got. Your health is all you got. Man, okay. Do you know, and I'm gonna say this right here. Here's another fact. Do you know that we have no interest in helping children? We have no interest in helping children. Black folks spend more money on stuff and entertainment before they would support a youth organization. We don't care. And I'm speaking on experience. And I want to tell you this right here. You can spend your money however you want to. Absolutely. That's your money. You're right. I'm just sharing with you that if you don't invest some type of way in our children, they will become damaged. That's all I'm sharing with you. That you got to become more conscious, you got to become more caring, you have to become more concerned, you have to develop some type of interest, whether you helping adults or not. Here's another fact: not one child that's in the position or in the predicament that they're in coming from a torn family has to come into it. Not one. Not one. And so if you are conscious, if you care, you can't constantly keep saying, well, their mama to do this, their dad to do this, their mama to do this, their dad to do this. A lot of times their mom and dad don't even know better. I've been doing this a long, long time. So if you know better, then you should be the one, if you care, to do something to try to help children. Now, I don't care if you don't help adults, then yeah. That could be a fight for somebody else. My fight is not to help adults. I'm putting this information out, coaches putting this information out because we've taught that hopefully our younger children, our babies will get this information one day and live a more healthier and productive life than a lot of us are living. Make sure your grandkids, make sure your kids are good. Then find some type of youth organization, investigate them, because it's a lot of folks scamming. And the sad part is, here it is that Second Nature for Children is the most legit youth organization, period. We get no support. But if I came on scamming about opening a school for Black boys, I just want you to hear what I'm saying. I've been had what he might be about 2-3 million right now. And it's so sad. What you think about this right here? And I'm gonna move on, but what you think about this right here? By me saying that, why if someone comes out who can speak well, know the psyche of the Black people, know how to abuse the black mind. Why is it so easy, you think, for us to be either scammed or fooled by someone? Are we that closed down to our light don't come on? When I hear certain things, I'm like, my light, I have a light that comes on and it lets me know. I could tell that's not right. Why do you think it's so easy for us as a people to be scammed or misled? Have you ever thought about that?
I never really thought about it, but for my little observation, man, you gotta understand we're programmed every week. We're being programmed for as long as we can remember. And what I mean by that is the person standing in the pulpit, they're programming you.
Absolutely.
They appeal to certain emotions. They're programming you to look at a certain person, maybe the way they dress, the way they speak, they articulate, and you feel this got to be legit. You know, how dare you question that? As you evolve, man, in this journey called life, certain things just jump out at you, whether you want it to or not. You know, certain behaviors you shun, certain people you shun. You know, certain things might be as bright as day to you, but it wouldn't be to someone else. But that starts with you, man, being better than you are and evolving. That starts with you, you know. So,
And by you saying that, one thing folks have to remember is that whatever the creator is, that should be a personal relationship that you have. You shouldn't let the person, I don't care what religion you are, because one thing about black folks that's very noticeable, when he or she or the preacher or whatever they are, when they're talking to you, they've been trained. One thing they know is that black folks on a higher scale is always struggling in some type of area. They know you're struggling.
yeah.
They know you're struggling. And so all they have to do, and this has been going on for many, 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 many years, all they have to do is tap into your feelings and emotions and give you hope. That's all they got to do. And we haven't figured that out, that that's what's going on. You're not taking care of yourself physically, so you're dealing with an illness. So now you go to church dealing with that illness. When that preacher is talking about whatever religion you are, that God or that spirit or whatever is going to help, that's going to tap into your feelings and emotions. See, it's not going to tap into the person feeling and emotions who took care of themselves physically because they can't relate to what he's talking about. I can't relate to that because I took care of myself physically. But he know that the majority of his crowd haven't taken care of themselves physically, so he's going to be or she's going to be able to tap into their feelings and emotions because he know for a fact, especially I'm reading the numbers, black folks that on a higher scale we are physically sick. I want you to hear how easy this is to tap into your feelings and emotions, to get your money, to get your hope, to keep you running up in them. Instead of you running to the gym, you running to the church. You need to be running to the gym. You need to be learning how to eat better. Because when you leave out the church, you go right back home into your destructive ways. It haven't helped you at all. You just went in there and got to feel good. And then you came right back out and just went right back into your destructive ways. Where if you run into the gym, learn how to take care of yourself physically, and then learn how to eat, begin to clean your diet up, I promise you, it'll put you in a better position in life. That's a fact. They know that in the black community, we're dealing with mental illness, mental issues, mental disorders. The preacher, they know they know what we're dealing with. They know we are a struggling people. So once again, all I have to do is tap into your feelings and emotions to make you feel like somebody's gonna come and help. You don't have to do nothing. All you have to do is wait on him. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is just wait on him. I just want you to hear this, family. We gotta stop. We gotta wake up. What you waiting on? If you're gonna do anything, if you having problems with your mental health, seek help. What you waiting on? Who you waiting on? We gotta stop. And then they got you thinking that you are part of a religion, and we're so lost and we're so scattered and we're so divided. All you got to do, family, like I told you a little earlier, it's whatever it is that you believe in. You tap into that, and that's personal. You tap into that, and you build standards and principles on that. That's what will help you in life. Not just being caught up in a religion where you celebrate certain holidays and you doing pagan things and you think that everything is good just because you're following a tradition or you following a custom. We got to wake up, family. Our children's lives are at stake. But a lot of us have been brainwashed for so long. So it's sad to say, but it's no hope if we're not willing to wake up and make a change. There's no hope. And when it comes to the organization, I have a youth organization right there, Second Nature for Children, Inc., baby. And we are in the house. And we need support, especially for our children that are in the streets. There's my information. There's my website. You can go see my work, my Facebook page, Second Nature for Children, and see the work. But watch this, though. There's no concern. There's no interest. We don't care. So can't nobody, I want someone to try to come at me that I'm telling a lie, that I'm not telling the truth. Can't one person tell me I'm telling a lie? Because having one person here, Second Nature for Children, and said, hey, I want to do this. I want to do this for the kids. I want to do that for not one. So how you going to tell him I'm telling a lie? Before you tell him I'm telling a lie, hit the cash app. How you going to tell him I'm telling a lie? And you haven't even sitting there to the children. And I'm grinding with children every day. So that's why I don't deal in beliefs to the point where I try to push my belief off on someone to be true. My perspective, opinion, my feelings. I don't care anything about that. I stay away from those conversations because those conversations get you nowhere. I love to speak on facts, something I can prove with evidence. And I don't care whether you get in your feelings and emotions about it. Because one thing I've learned, that if you give me your perspective and you try to push it at the truth, and I come with proof and evidence to show you that what you believe is not true, and if you continue to believe it, it's considered a lack of common sense. And that's a lot of our problem. You can get mad. There go my email address, comment section. Folks know where I'm at. Facts. So support Second Nature for Children. But a lot of us, we just don't care. And if not Second Nature for Children, investigate, like I said earlier, any youth organization that's in your community. Do something. Do something. I don't care if you volunteer, but do something to help our children. Please do something. And we have to start caring right now about our children, because I've been working with children, man, over 3, going on 4 decades. And so you tell me that if we care, how Black children ages 5 through 12 are twice as likely to die by suicide than their white peers, if we care and we was doing something to make a difference. You share with me how our Black teens commit suicide at a growing and a shocking rate from 2018 to 2021. We had the largest increase of suicide among blacks, our black teens. We dropping the ball somewhere as adults because these kids are struggling. They're struggling. But from 2000 to 2022, Black youth ages 10 through 19 increased of suicide at a shocking rate of 78%. We're not doing our part as parents and as people. We're losing a lot of our children. And we're losing a lot of our children. First, I'll say this, we're losing a lot of ourselves. And it's noticeable because we don't care. You don't care about your well-being physically. You don't care about your mental state, and you don't care about your spirit. I said it. It's noticeable. And we definitely don't care about the children. I've been reaching out to people many, many years, damn near 40 years, to help with children. And we just don't care. It's not our interest. It's not our concern. And as a people, if we're going to move forward, we got to do better as a people and come together to help each other. Coach, I'm done.
They said, what the song said, children are the future. Said the kids are dying that young, that quick. What the future looks like. You know, that young, that quick, what the future looks like. I still don't figure out how to make people care because I feel it's something you can't just care, but switch it on or switch it off. If you care, you just care. You know, you can care about you care about what's around you, care about that, and that's gonna extend, man. You know, that comes from within you, man. You got to check yourself. You know, as a person, male, female, you got to check yourself, man. You know, and if you say that you do care, okay, just let us know how you're exercising that care that you claim that you have. You know, if you choose to, you know what I mean? We ought to do better, but will we do better? I feel if you don't care, how can you do better if you don't care? You know, as long as you got life, anything is possible. Whatever it is, you can break it down until you get to that point where you achieve it. This is the same thing. That's the way I see it. I don't know how they see it, but that's the way I see it. As long as you got life, anything is possible. You can start from this evening. You know, you can start from tomorrow. At the end of the day, man, it's up to you. You, the person in the mirror. So start, ask yourself that question. Start with you. Do I care about myself? And be honest with yourself, man. Do I care about myself? How do I show I care about myself? Have that dialogue with yourself, man. A lot of us need to have conversation with ourselves, man. You know, that's gonna help with your mental clarity. So, but that's what I got, man. We better than that. We ought to do better, but will we? Time will tell, man.
Well, I tell you, and I'm gonna end it right here. And by you saying that, that's why I love to just give you the last word. But by you just making that comment about time will tell, it's already projected in just the next 5 years. And you pull it up. I gave you the sites to go pull it up. In 2030, things will be worse than they are today. And in 2050, they're just looking for simply destruction among our people if we don't do something today to make it better for our younger people that's coming up. So if we don't do nothing to make a difference, it definitely don't look good for our children. And that's why yourself and me, we have to continue to put this information out. So hopefully, them babies that are babies now and the ones that haven't even been born yet will get this information. And like I say, live a healthy and productive life. I'm done, Coach. I had to say that for you. Said time. You got 2 minutes if you want to close it out. If not, we'll get out.
That's the one thing I read this week, man. I know a lot of us live down in the Houston area, and it's beginning to be rough down in Texas, man. Cost cutting. These companies, man, they're cutting costs, man. Layoffs, man. You know, protect your coins, man. Protect your coins, man. That's all I can say in that regard, man. And it's not only Texas, but Texas jump up because of the amount, as far as the numbers, thousands of people, man. So y'all look out, man. All right.
I let it go right there. Protect your coins. Put some just in case money up. Coach can told you. Some rough times are coming.
Mm.
So until we come back, Coach, I'll holler.
All right, take care, man.